Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe Parker with the Santa Barbara Group at Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, making videos for you on this channel that are all about the Santa Barbara, Montecito, Hope Ranch, Goleta real estate market, the south coast of Santa Barbara County, where we have all these incredible communities offering up homes in a wide variety of price ranges, from entry level, maybe somewhere around $500,000-$600,000 for a one-bedroom condo, all the way up to $30, $40, $50 million mega mansions, beachfront estates, you name it, we feature it here on this channel where we drive through the community. Today I'm driving right now in Hope Ranch, one of the most exclusive communities in Santa Barbara, but we take you on drive-alongs like this where you get to know the community a little bit, and then I'll take you through the homes and actually walk you through each of these listings and give you a great idea of what it's like to be inside them and what kind of features they're offering up to the next potential owner. So if you're curious about Santa Barbara real estate, you're probably going to want to stick around and maybe even subscribe to the channel, because I'm putting out these videos every week. You could see a huge backlog. If you're new to the channel, you just found me, check out what I've got here and watch some of these videos. You'll learn a ton about Santa Barbara, and then I invite you to reach out to me directly if you want to talk more about what you're working on, what your plans are, and maybe come up with a game plan that works for your needs, your family, whatever's going on. We're here to help. We love interacting with you guys, and we love showing you our community. So we're going to be diving into a couple of homes today. I'm going to give you a little variety, starting off with this new listing in Hope Ranch, just under $13 million. It's going to have some great views. It's perched right over the La Cumbre Country Club, which is in Hope Ranch, but isn't actually a part of Hope Ranch, as far as you don't get to join it just by living in Hope Ranch. You got to actually join it. It is separate, but it is a great feature, and a lot of people who do live here in Hope Ranch end up joining it because it has a world-class golf course. It also has great tennis, fitness facilities, a beautiful pool with mountain views that people with kids love to hang out and have their kids play together, burn that energy in the pool. So a lot of great reasons to join the country club if you live here in Hope Ranch. This community is very exclusive. As I said, it kind of battles Montecito for being the most exclusive or the most expensive. Montecito tends to win because it does have a lot more to offer. This is a lot smaller, but it is very much a private, exclusive community here in Santa Barbara, and it gets you a little bit further away from being on the southern portions of the south coast. You know, this is more up towards where the end of Santa Barbara is and Goleta starts, not too far from the Santa Barbara airport, if you're familiar with that as well. So that's what Hope Ranch is looking like. But this first home is going to be an amazing Spanish style with views. I'll be bringing you back on shortly as we're pulling into the driveway. Okay, this home's actually located on almost the outer perimeter edge of Hope Ranch. Like I said, it wasn't too far from the country club. So this driveway actually is a back way up into the country club. Actually it's the main front entrance into the country club. There's a back entrance as well. But so this is going to be on the outer perimeter, overlooking towards the ocean, overlooking the golf course and the rest of the Hope Ranch community. But you can see here we've got this long driveway leading up to the house that is on offer today on Via Laguna. We're looking at 3911 Via Laguna. And look at how we get up here. Everything starts to open up. It's like being on the top of a ridge almost as we get up here. And we could look across over to Campanile Hill. I could see there another great community that is really starting to blow up. I think I'm just going to park it right here. See how this works. Okay. And real quick, some basic stats on this one here. We got 4 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, and it's $12,950,000. Let's go take a look. Okay, the motor court here. We've got a nice roundabout with a fountain, beautiful palm trees lining the driveway, and then this massive lawn over here. I don't know how much use it would get, but then you could see how We're perched above the golf course and looking across Hope Ranch towards Campanile Hill. Beautiful. That's the driving range actually right down there. You can see, guys, if I zoom in. See those guys hitting balls? So, mini driving range. Okay, plenty of parking here. Looks like they've got 3 cars comfortably parked, and then in the garage, 2 cars there. It looks like maybe a 3 car actually, with a carport. And then look at this beautiful architecture, classic Spanish style. Beautiful fountain. I love the tile work, the color. And then we got this outdoor little fresco dining area. Beautiful saltillo tile on the floor. Look, a little lemon tree in a pot. Let's go see what the inside of this one's looking like. Okay, as we enter here, the entry, look at this beamwork up top there. And it continues into this sort of sunken living room right here. So we've got saltillo tile and big, like 12-foot doors, it looks like here. So this is going to be a very grand feeling because we've stepped down. The ceiling is extra tall with this really beautiful kind of vibe. Old world and a little bit of new world with some of the fixtures they chose, that gigantic fireplace. And then since I'm here at these French doors, let me just show you what this backyard area is looking like. Flagstone, sandstone combination, love that. Also have this water feature here. You can't go wrong with water features, because since we're on this edge of Hope Ranch, you do have, I think since we're elevated too, if that fountain wasn't going, I might be able to hear a little bit of the freeway off in the distance, right? Because we're not too far away from the freeway if you look at a map of this one, and we would have a little hum of the noise. Yeah, as I get a little further away from it, I can hear it a little bit. But look, there's some more space down there to explore, but let's go back in the house before we go down there. That's where the pool is. I'll take you over here, look over the edge. Look at that. Wow, pretty slick. Okay, let's go back inside here. Now again, they've got this really cool saltillo tile pattern on the floor. Look at how where it meets the steps here. That's a really great classic combination. And then we'll go over here and go down a couple of steps to these curved doors that open up this room here. Beautiful, great office here. Look at the details of the colored built-ins. I love that kind of gray blue tint that they did throughout, and it's just a blanket of storage everywhere all over in here. So that's great. Nice little leaded glass window up there. This place is really like a maze. Okay, we drop down. There's a bedroom. Looks like a guest room with its own patio. Love that. More views out towards the golf course down there. And then look at the curved archway coming into this bathroom. Oh, it's a really nice little guest suite down here. Classic. And then I also like how they did the detail of kind of stuccoing over the vents. Very classic and timeless for the vents that push out the forced air heating. Now we got another bedroom right up here. This one also has a beautiful attached bathroom. Some more of this kind of Moorish angling on those arched windows there. You see how it has a little bit of a point to them at the top there? That's interesting. And those shutters. All the hardware on the doors seems like antique and old, really cool. Okay, one more room here. This is looking like Another suite with a beautiful balcony overlooking the golf course and Hope Ranch. And of course, this one's en suite as well. Okay, so we entered the home, went to the right. We had a few bedrooms, all en suite. And now we are going to see what is upstairs before we finish with the other side of the house, where we're gonna find the kitchen, but I'm thinking we're gonna probably find a primary bedroom up here if I keep going. Beautiful rail work here. Look at this landing outside the primary bedroom here. Wow, okay. This has got a little peek of the ocean as well up here. So that's very nicely positioned to take advantage of that view. Big fireplace. Let me show you what I'm seeing out here. If I come out here and I can point it, out there is where the ocean is. Can't really see it too well because it's kind of hazy, but there's that yard that I was exploring a little bit earlier. And then looking back down to the pool area. Very cool. All right, let's go back out here and check out the bathroom. So then we've got this place here with the big tub. Again, looking out towards the ocean. Dual sinks. Here's our water. Nope, this is our regular closet. Over here. Okay, this is where the toilet and shower are. Looks like a steam shower. Excellent. And then more closet space there. All right, so there's our primary retreat. Now we gotta go see where that living room is, or the family room kitchen area. All right, here we go. Powder room. Classic, old world. Tile work is super cool. Okay, this little den is going to be used as the kids' playroom right now. And then the family room kitchen area here has got a access out to the patio. Real classic. Timeless with Carrara marble here. Look at this fridge system. Kind of cool, old. And then similar kind of unique old world stove with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 burners and 2 ovens. Wow, that's impressive. All right, so there was these steps that went down underneath the bedroom wing. Takes us down to this little, was this a guest apartment? Oh, I found the gym. Nice. Yeah, this could be a little guest apartment. Here's the bathroom. Oh, cool shower. And this is where the kitchenette would be. There's a little fridge there, countertop, and then got some patio space out here. This is where we're gonna find the pool, I think, right over here. So we got concrete down on the floor around the pool, and then this big, beautiful tiled pool. Looks like it could use a little bit of love, a little discoloration on it, but all in all, super pretty with some really amazing tile work. I really like the vibrant colors of it, and then that little waterfall feature. Kind of reminds me of like the Hearst Castle pool or something like that. Very cool. And then of course we're perched again over this beautiful setting. So, all right, what do you think of that one, everyone? Okay, that's the outskirts of Hope Ranch. This one here. Go ahead and driving out of this nice, long, stately driveway. Big lawn. It's kind of funny because, I mean, I got to imagine what it costs to maintain that and if it ever gets used, but it is beautiful to look at. All right, so what'd you think of that one, everyone? Interesting house, beautiful. I liked a lot of the architectural features. It had a lot of that old world Spanish details. A little mix of identity in there, kind of that George Washington Smith kind of classic Santa Barbara Spanish with a little kind of almost Moorish tone to some of the design qualities. There's a local architect named Jeff Shelton that does a lot of that influence in his designs. Very whimsical and kind of playing in the Spanish, but then adding his style, and some of those arches that end in a point. You know, those are some of the tile work and whatnot. Those are some things that make me believe it's got that kind of Moorish feel to it. So, all right. I wonder what, is that looking all right? I think it is. Okay, we are gonna go see a home that is pretty unique next. You're going to want to stick around for this one because this is up in the Goleta foothills, the section of Goleta that's closer to Santa Barbara, so not deep Goleta, and maybe even kind of the foothills of what the locals would call Nolita, so not all the way to Goleta, but not Santa Barbara, Nolita. It's like the little area in between Santa Barbara and Goleta. But this one is 40 acres, all right? So it's just on the outskirts of a pretty traditional neighborhood on North San Marcos Road. That's the road that drops down from San Marcos Pass, the old way to get up to the pass, if you don't take the 154 highway. And so this is on the edge of that neighborhood, and it is 40 acres. It's got its own orchard, avocado orchard that you drive by. It's like basically being on your own little hill. I've previewed it before, and I'm excited to take you guys through it because as it's perched up there, you get panoramic 360-degree views. So imagine being on one of these little foothills in front of us here, where you are built on the knoll, and you can look all the way around the mountains, Goleta Valley, Montecito, Sycamore Canyon, Carpinteria Valley, and then everything Santa Barbara has to offer, and across Hope Ranch, across More Mesa Bluff. All of those areas are going to be in view from this place. And as you enter it unassumingly out of this basic traditional neighborhood, you cross a creek, and then you take one of the longest driveways I've ever been on, maybe almost a mile long this driveway is, to wind your way up to the Spanish estate that's up at the top of this orchard. So fully working orchard. You could talk about what the crops produce, avocados mainly. Those are expensive, so that's a nice way to subsidize maybe the property taxes or the property expenses. But a really, really incredible little urban ranch we're going to get to go see here with really nice views, a lot of history. The owner of it, I think, had a really good time living in this property. So excited to bring you through it. I'll bring you back here shortly as we get a little bit closer. All right, I made it to Turnpike Road, which is really the heart of Nolita, special neighborhood here. And we've got Cathedral Oaks in front of us. If I were to go straight, I would end up at Tucker's Grove Park. Really great park. Lots of open space for picnicking, a couple kids' play areas. All the way to the right is a dog park, and then there's also foothill hiking behind it. So lots of parking, great park if you're looking for kind of a locals park, something off the beaten path where tourists don't typically go. That would be a great one to go explore. But we're going to pass it. We're not going to it today because I'm going to show you that neighborhood I was telling you about near the old San Marcos Road. We've toured some properties in this neighborhood before, so you've seen this in some of the other videos. If you want to learn more about some of these, check out the channel because I have these broken down into different playlists. You could see the driving tours of Santa Barbara, Montecito, Goleta in their own playlist. So that a lot of the backlogged videos, because these are coming out once a week, there's a bunch on here, so you could explore those. But we're at Old San Marcos Road here. This is going to go all the way up to the 154 highway. which then will take you across the mountains to Cachuma Lake and San Ynez Valley, all those areas. So as you can see here, we've got a neighborhood that I don't know if this is going to get us. It is going to get us. This is not where the map's taking me. That's why I was a little bit confused there, but this is how I went to it last time, and I think we could still get through this way. So you go through this little neighborhood right here, which these homes are nice. They're going to run you probably starting at about $2 million, going up to maybe about, I don't know, I'd say 2.9, maybe 3 million in here if you get a really nice one on a good lot, possibly with a pool or something like that. And hopefully they're going to still let me enter this ranch through this little side entrance over here, because I thought it was pretty interesting on how this really incredible property starts off by a real unassuming neighborhood, right? I'm already starting to see some of the avocados of where we're going. So, you know, there's a massive one we just went by right here. This is like a 3-story avocado tree. Incredible. So this is on someone's private property, not part of the ranch, but nonetheless a part of this neighborhood and massive. Okay, so here we go. You think we're just going to the back of this neighborhood, and all of a sudden now things change, right? It's starting to feel a little bit different. Now there's a lot more avocado trees. I'm seeing some farm boxes and some farm equipment, and all of a sudden, boom, things have changed. And there is a ton of avocados on these trees right now. Holy cow, that is loaded. That's the thing with avocado trees. Sometimes you can't tell how many they are because the avos look a lot like the leaves. Okay, so here you go. Creek still flowing. Massive tree. Let me show you this. Look at that huge tree right there growing out of the creek. Oh, why isn't it focusing? There you go. Focus on that. Okay, let me try to get this back. Alright, so that is just a stunning setting. I should have almost got out to show you. A mix here. We got oranges too, looks like. So some oranges, some avocados. Now this is that driveway I was telling you. This is probably the longest driveway I've ever been on. Selling real estate here in Santa Barbara and Montecito. It just keeps going and going and going. And basically this is the 40 acres. This estate, which is just under $8 million. I think it's like 7.9. This is what's on offer. It's basically this whole hill, this whole little mountain, this mini mountain is loaded with avocados, which is a full working ranch. You know, this is going to be a big income producing crop. And there are companies like Cal Avo that you could contract with to come out and pick your fruit and pay you. But given this operation, I could see someone maybe just taking on that job and taking all the money themselves, because this is quite an orchard. And some of these trees are younger. It looks like they were just recently replaced, but then you do have some older ones. But I'm just so impressed by the amount of fruit I'm seeing on them as I drive by. Even some of these smaller ones, some really massive amounts of avocados on them. Okay, so here we go, still venturing along this driveway, still traversing the 40 acres that this property is offering up. And I'm now starting to see, pretty far in the distance still, a Spanish house, some Spanish tile. Some mountains are starting to produce themselves in the view here, because I've gotten high enough now to see over the back of this hill that this orchard is planted on. And now you could start to see, I think, barely maybe, but in the video there, a hill or a house off to my right there. Not this one that's straight ahead. I'm going to go by one that's more contemporary in style. That is not the property. In fact, you can see that it's fenced off there. So we're going to just skirt right by that wall for that house. And make our way to the main attraction, which is this really stunning Spanish style home on 40 acres. Pretty close to everything on offer in Santa Barbara. This is it right here. Okay, we got a similar feel here. We got this roundabout motor court. Boom. Okay, we've landed, people. This is Via Alba. 3 bedrooms, 5 baths, with a new price at $7,950,000, 10 acres, an in-town ranch with 360-degree views. The house is 5,600 plus square feet. Let's go check it out. All right, take in the mountain views behind us. Nice warm day today. We're getting to the 80s apparently today. A mini heat wave they're calling. So check out the orchard we went through, some citrus, some avocado, and then this beautiful Spanish estate here. That's gonna be down to the pool. Let's go see what we got in here. All right, classic entry. A fountain that lost its life probably back in the drought, never came back to being a fountain. Beautiful Spanish style roof. Look at the tower at the front here with the little balcony, really cool. And then another feature I love are these deep walls here. I love the depth of that, and then the stained glass and the wrought iron out in the front of it. Really great feature. But we're gonna enter and take in this view. This is gonna be across More Mesa Bluff. I'm just gonna walk right over here to give you a little taste of how far up we are now compared to where we were. Let me zoom in a little here. So that's gonna be More Mesa Bluff that we're looking across there, and the islands. So that's a big open space that you could hike. It's on the edge of Hope Ranch. Really great spot, one of my favorite places in town. Okay. So here's the room that we enter into. This beautiful round big ceiling up there. Look at that classic chandelier. This reminds me of kind of the El Paseo, you know, Santa Barbara Spanish. Okay, here's our living room with the fireplace. The views overlooking the orchard are super cool. Everywhere you look, there's the golden leaves of the avocado. There's a dining room. More views. This is one of those ones that, as you could see everywhere in town, and that's going to be our angle towards downtown and the Mesa. So that's the top of Campanile Hill. That's what we were looking at from the other property in Hope Ranch. So it's like basically, I think we're going straight over that other property in this view, in that angle. So you get your bearings a little bit, but that's all avocado in front of us. Here we go. There's a pantry. Kitchen could use a little updating, but super classic, you know, with the Satia tile and the special backsplash tile here is kind of nice, hand painted. Nice breakfast nook area here, surrounded by windows and natural light. Another patio right out there. And this is the family room. It's got some exposed beams, Satia tile, these doors that get you out to a covered patio. Great outdoor space, which extends out to what seems to be a fresh paver patio area here, extending the outdoor living space. Again, as far as the eye could see, avocado trees everywhere. And this is the opposite of that entry courtyard. You could see through that door there where I came into the property, my car parked out there. Okay. A little workstation there. And down here we got laundry room. And then this is more of that front area. I'm going to take you upstairs before we go down. Okay, looks like they updated the flooring up here. I think we found the primary. Kind of enter into this closet zone with closets around the perimeter. And then the bathtub. Oh wait, look at this. Dual sinks. Little shower. A water closet, and then emphasis on this tub. Now we've had some party showers, but that's a party tub. We'll step down off of that into the primary bedroom here. Got a nice fireplace, exposed beam ceiling. So definitely some datedness to this home. Someone's gonna come in here. You know, someone wants a ranch. First of all, I mean, not everyone's gonna buy this because it comes with 40 acres and quite a bit of responsibility there. But if that's what you're looking for, this home could be really something special. Look at this office nest. It's actually pretty cool up here. The high point of the hill and of the house. All right, this is to the right of the front door, so we went to the left already. This is to the right, so you got a guest suite here, nice and bright. Love the view this room gets. Should be the guest that you like the most. Gets this one. Looks like some storage, and then, well, maybe this one would be possibly better. Yeah, okay. This is the one for the guest you like the most. Slightly bigger, also has a bathroom, and has killer views. Nice, big shower. I'll go downstairs. I think we've seen everything on this level. Now this house is giving off party vibes. So I think this is where all the partying would take place because this is the pool level. So there we go, little loungy area, bathroom, storage. Okay, more storage, could be a wine cellar. And then, okay, this must be the bar. Nice, nice. Look at this room. Love this fireplace. So like 70s, right? Round, the aggregate stone to sit around. Lots of windows. More heavy wood, exposed beams. And this has got that exterior stucco. I wonder if one time this was, and they put hay in the stucco too. That's kind of interesting. Okay, look at these rose bushes out here. More of this aggregate stone along the pool deck. Got killer mountain views up that way. Ocean views out this way. Check on your avocados. Nice bright pool. And then a little bathroom, cabana, and then more equipment. All right, everyone. 40 acres, have your own avocado ranch in Santa Barbara with panoramic views. Yes or no? What do you think? I think it'd be pretty interesting. I don't know if I've got farming vibes or farming genes in me, but I might be able to figure it out. Become a farmer, grow some avocados. Look at all these roses. I had to take you on the rose path. All right, that's it. Now that was one of the more unique properties I've ever toured here in Santa Barbara, and not that the house was all that. You know, the house was very interesting and cool, and had some great views, but just to be positioned on your own private hill that's planted with avocados and has panoramic views and you're not too far out of town, so unique, so special. So I hope you felt it was special and unique as well, and I hope you enjoyed your time on this tour. I love making these videos for you. I do it to give you an opportunity to learn more about my hometown, my favorite community, the one I've been selling houses in for 25 years, to give you somebody to maybe introduce yourself to. Reach out. I would love to help you. I'm here to consult. I'm a fiduciary, so my number one priority is making sure you understand the complex situation of navigating the real estate market and that you make the best decisions possible. So that's what I'm doing on a regular basis in my career, and I'm making these videos to meet new people to help with their real estate goals. So I appreciate you watching. I'm Joe Parker with the Santa Barbara Group, Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. Stay tuned for another video coming soon. Peace.